guys, I'm Callie.
I'm Jessica.
And we're Reality Check Las Vegas. Welcome. We tell you all the Vegas tea and celebrity gossip.
And celebrity gossip, for sure.
Gosh. And let me tell you, this episode's a celebrity gossip.
You know what's so funny is we, after we filmed our, Thanksgiving episode, I was like, man, I was sitting back waiting for somebody to do something, because we always we've kind of adopted a formula or a routine in our shows, and we're like, what are we gonna do for celebrity gossip? Everybody's been on their best behavior.
I know. It really was a couple of weeks where we were like, shit, I guess we'll talk about something happy.
I don't know what to do. and then this week, we were definitely not let down.
Oh my God. It was so much that I even took stuff out. Originally, I had a much longer list, but I was like, this is already a 10-hour show. I need to just, what is important to us? Okay, these things. But yeah, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our lovely channel so you don't miss out on anything. Okay, well, we're going to go real quick through the Vegas stuff and the football stuff. So Vegas stuff. I went out with my mother. It was her 21st birthday. Ooh. And we had a lot of fun. I was able to surprise her by bringing in my cousin. So my cousin got to surprise her. And I got to say, first I tried to go to Mayfair, and that didn't work out. And then we were going to go to Alexa for brunch. And then my mom didn't know my cousin was coming. So she was like, I really don't want to do all that food and blah, 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 blah. And so I had to change that reservation last minute. So we ended up going to Beer Park in the morning, and they had the game on, and we had fried pickles and a pretzel. It was so good. And they had bottomless mimosas.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had 4. Hey. And they had that really good Love Lady drink, that beer. Remember you had that beer at I'm forgetting the name of it. Outside of T-Mobile.
Beer House.
Yeah, Beer House. Oh my God. How did I forget that? So Beer House. I had the same one.
Ooh,
that was
a good one.
It was so good.
It's
Highly recommend.
The Cali squeeze, right?
Oh no, it was the Lady Love.
Love Lady.
It's from Nevada.
That was the first thing I had, and then I had a Cali squeeze.
Okay, yeah, it was the one from Nevada that I had at Beer Park, but that one was really good. And I gotta say, the weather outside was so gorgeous. Formula One still blocks the fountain views, which kind of sucks, but we still saw them. But it was such a good day out. It was so pretty. So pretty. And then later that night, we went to Lago. We were supposed to go to Mayfair, but then I fucked up the reservation.
I'm going to take her to Mayfair for Mother's Day.
Yeah. And honestly, it really worked out because us girls just wanted to have girl time and talk to each other, and we couldn't have done that at Mayfair.
No.
You know what I mean? So, it really worked out that we went to Lago. My favorite thing that we that I really loved about the restaurant was that as the fountains are going, it has music, and that music is being played inside the restaurant too.
Ooh.
So you can actually get the full experience of the fountains, because the fountains without the song is pretty, but the song is what makes it so magical. So it was really nice to hear all the songs that was going on, and it's right outside the window. It's super freaking gorgeous. Funny story, I wanted to get a really good table with a view, and I tried to reserve a spot, and they were like, well, you can reserve a table outside. It's December, it's cold, outside for $150 per person.
No thanks.
Our food wasn't even that much, and that would have gone to our food, but my food wasn't even that much money.
Right.
We didn't even spend that much money in food. So it was so they told me to come earlier, and we did get a really good table. And then, it was just magical. It was amazing. We saw the gardens. The gardens are always gorgeous. I mean,
it's at the Venetian, right?
No, Bellagio.
Oh, sweet. Oh, okay.
Yeah. At the
Okay,
Bellagio. Yeah. So, everything was super nice. The food was nice. I would say I wish the waiter would have spent more time with us. We barely saw him. We saw all of the other people, the bussers that always clean up. They were helping us more than our waiter. We saw our waiter 3 times.
Is he busy?
Fitty vitty. I mean, I don't know if maybe he had another seating area that I didn't see, but he probably had 5 tables. And I don't know if that's super crazy, but I don't know, we're low maintenance too, so it also helps. You can ignore us kind of sort of. So, we're entertaining ourselves. But yeah, no, it was a really nice birthday. And I will say I'm such a I won the crop, creme de la crop. I won the Yaya birthday. I won it. Yaya was so happy, so excited. And So I got to ask for My Chemical Romance tickets.
You asked for My Chemical Romance tickets on your mom's birthday?
No, the day after.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. You waited a day.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And she's like, I want to go to Florida. I was like, I want you to want to go to Florida. That makes me one step closer to my tickets.
It's September of next year, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, I'll go too. And then I'm like, oh, but I'll be in Cleveland in August. I probably can't do 2 trips.
Yeah. It's September 12th too. 13th. I'm sorry, 13th. So we'd have to get down on like the 11th. Yeah. And I mean, right now honestly, it sounds so stupid. It's like, I'm just excited for the show. I
would actually go to that with you though. Like, if there was like a way, like I would actually go to that with you for sure.
No, it was we'll see what happens. But yes, I just wanted to, say happy birthday, Yaya. I love you. Thank you for being a Yaya. Thank you for being Vegas Baby's Yaya. And thank you for being my mother. My mother, you're amazing. She created this beast. Let me tell you this. All right.
We're getting into football, and I'm trying to make sure. Oh, the Packers. Okay. I'm like going over who won. Yes. So getting into football, there was a lot happening, but I didn't really. I'm just going to kind of overview it. The Chiefs beat the Chargers, and in a very Tay Voodoo black magic kind of a way.
That's funny.
Because they were down. It was like 1917.
Yeah.
The Chargers.
Yeah.
And their backup kicker showed up because Harrison Butker's injured. And when he kicked the ball, it like hit the side of the goalpost
and just went right in.
Oh,
he's a lucky boy.
And everyone's lucky like, the fuck? Like the memes are like just like warlocks in black robes and like the devil like just right there like praying or whatever like and everyone's like, oh, that's some Tay Voodoo shit. I'm like, she was not even there. I did not watch the game because I was watching the Eras tour.
Listen, but she was busy.
Yeah, I was busy. But it's so funny because like I was actually, I'm not gonna lie, I honestly thought that the Chiefs were gonna lose because if I had a game, but like my boyfriend was playing his final show, after 2 years and just saying goodbye to it. I don't know that my head would be fully in it, but
if you were making the amount of money he is, your head would be in it.
But it was cool because then I was like, wait, that show, like the game is over it starts at 5. It started at 5. It was over by 8. He could have jetted off and made it by the end of the game. Or by the end of the show, because the show wasn't over until like 11:30.
I mean, maybe.
Probably.
I just feel like,
but he didn't.
I feel like he probably. I mean, we don't even know what his next day schedule was like.
Yeah,
they're in the phase of the relationship where it's like, oh, I got to go to work now.
Oh yeah, but also like that they clinched their AFC West champions, so now it's like it's playoff time.
Yeah.
So that's more of the focus. The Lions beat the Packers. The Lions now have the same wins and losses as they're 11-1.
Oh, okay.
Just like the Chiefs are.
Okay.
The Bengals. I'm not gonna lie, I was actually kind of worried about the Bengals. I was like, I swear to God, if the Bengals lose to the damn Cowboys,
that's pretty sad.
I would as like Joe Burrow demanded to be traded. And then somebody asked me like, okay, well, if Joe Burrow demands to be traded, where would he go? Because all the good teams are set with their quarterbacks. Because I was like, I don't want him to go from one shit team where his talent's being wasted to another shit team. But everyone left is like the Jets and the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Like he's stuck.
Damn.
And then the Dolphins. Speaking of the Jets, the Dolphins beat the Jets in overtime.
Oh wow.
So that was exciting. The Bills blew out the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh hell yeah, brother.
Because it was played in Buffalo in a blizzard.
Oh.
You really think a team from California?
Yeah, they had no idea.
Was going to win that game?
And the Bills are like known for playing in blizzards.
Everybody knew who was going to win that game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ain't no way.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have to do this now.
And then we had some college championship games. We had some conference championship games. So so Georgia played Texas.
Ooh.
And okay, so here was my thing. Like, I was very like 50-50 on it, because I was like, I kind of want Texas to win because fuck Georgia, but also fuck Texas because I don't want them to win the SEC championship in their first because they just joined the SEC in July.
So you gotta have some time,
and they've played unranked teams up until now.
So
the only team they've played the only hard team they've played this entire season is Georgia, and they beat Georgia.
I see.
A while back, but
yeah.
Or no, not sorry. Georgia beat Texas the last time too. So, I mean, they've had a pretty easy schedule.
Yeah.
So it's like they literally just rode their way, like just coasted their way.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, no. So yeah, they got beat.
I get that.
And then our friend Grace is happy because the Oregon Ducks beat Penn State.
Woo!
Yeah. So that was pretty much it for football. I didn't really get a whole lot of time to pay attention because both days at work were very, 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 very busy.
And also,
all 3 days at work were very, very busy.
And also, I feel like the celebrity gossip just like kept us preoccupied.
Oh, dude, there was a lot going on. A lot going on at the moment.
So much going on that it was like, football who?
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week. I just can't. So funny. But yeah.
All right. I'm going to get a little bit emotional.
It was a good 2 years.
Dude, I'm not even gonna I was so I was running a couple of errands before you came over, and I actually created just like a little playlist of just the last 3 days, like the last surprise songs. And so I was like listening to it. But so check this out. So Friday was the first night of the Eras Tour finale, and we were out with Vegas Baby during the day, and I posted a picture of he and I put the lyrics to Never Grow Up. And then that night I was watching the show, and I'm like in the my one of my TikTok friends was there, and I had commented, I was like, "Hey Vinny, remember that time you made me Wonderland bracelets?" And he was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yes, Jessica, I remember that was like the beginning of the tour." And then half an hour later, we get to the surprise song set. She does Haunted and Wonderland.
And you're like,
And I was like, oh my God. I'm like screaming. I don't know how my neighbors, once again, didn't call the police. Right? Screaming. And then you hear Vinny yelling in the phone. He's like in the live, and he's like, Jessica, you fucking did it. I don't know how you did this. This is and I was like, I don't fucking know, dude.
That's so funny.
And then she gets the piano, and she starts singing Never Grow Up, and I was like, I was crying. It wasn't just, yeah. I was full on.
I have that same song with Halsey right now, and I can't get through it without just messing up my makeup completely.
Full on crying. But also, then she sang The Best Day, and that's a song that she wrote about her mom. And the context of that is like, she was supposed to go out. She got invited to go out with friends, and they ditched her. So her mom took her out, and they and made sure that she had the best day.
Oh, that's sweet.
But when I listen to that song, it reminds me of You in Danger, or Vegas Baby. So that made it because we just had Family Day.
Yeah, it's just like,
we just had Family Day, and I know she did it because it's the end of the tour, and she was doing a tribute to her family. But I was like, we just had Family Day. And so funny. that made it really emotional for me.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I worked Saturday. Sunday I got home from work at 6:00, and I prepared myself. I made banana bread old fashioned, and because that's a Swiftie thing, or at least like the banana thing.
Yeah.
And then I get a text from Christina Shaw.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, "Can you send me the link to the live stream?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yep." And so her and I were watching the show together.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, we were like texting each other and watching the show. And what's cool is because like, you know, she has her show December 29th.
Uh-huh.
And so she was like taking notes on choreography and everything because and I was kind of explaining the lore to some things as we went along. And so she's like,
nice for her to have like have you and her like
I know.
She's like, oh, thank God. Like she's a busy mom of two. She needs someone to explain it to her this way. Like,
you know, so because she's like, I'm gonna be so nervous performing that. So anyway, so Taylor was filming a documentary. We've all been asking for a documentary, and we're gonna get one.
Yeah.
And so Taylor wore the same outfits all 3 days for continuity.
Oh.
Yeah. And
okay.
Yeah. So I knew that we weren't going to get, towards leading up to the show, I was like, we're not getting an announcement. That's fine. She didn't want anything to overshadow.
Yeah. I didn't think you guys were going to get anything that was going to overshadow the end of the tour. I always thought that it was going to be like, here's my special message. Here's my thank you. Here's my this. That's what I always thought was going to be special because it was such a big show. You can't overshadow the end, especially if you kind of want it to end. And I think she's like, I want a break.
Yeah.
Like I would love a vacation.
Yeah. Right. So, and I think that, she's done a really good job of like breaking up her tour so that it hasn't, but, I at least thought, we'd get new outfits, but then I started to really think about it, and her wearing that same outfit all 3 days was just, it's fine. Like it's fine because it wasn't about the outfits. It wasn't about the outfit changes. It wasn't about, it was like you said, it's very simple.
Yeah.
She, a lot of the times kept to the script.
Yeah.
Of all her speeches.
Oh, okay.
And then they all sang, and then the fan project for the last day was singing Happy Birthday because her birthday's on the 13th.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, so that's that was nice. And then so Christina and I were like texting and back and forth, and we get to the surprise song set, and on guitar she sings A Place in This World.
Mm-hmm.
And New Romantics. And Christina and I are like, New Romantics?
Yeah, like why?
Like that's so random.
Yeah.
But then it's not, because A Place in This World, like the lyrics are I don't know what I want, so don't ask me because I'm still trying to figure it out. Don't know what's down this road. I'm just walking, trying to see through the rain coming down. Even though I'm not the only one who feels the way I do, I'm alone on my own. And that's all I know. I'll be strong. I'll be wrong. Oh, but life goes on. I'm just a girl trying to find a place in this world. But then you get to New Romantics, and she's like, we're all bored. We're all so tired of everything. We wait for trains that just aren't coming. We show off our different scarlet letters. Trust me, mine is better. We were so young. We're on the road to ruin. We played dumb, but we know exactly what we're doing. And we cry tears of mascara in the bathroom because we all are crying tears. Like... Yeah, that made sense.
Yeah,
and one of the lyrics too is, "And every day is just a battle," right? And we were like, "Well, we did battle for tickets this year." Like the whole, we all okay. Like she gets it. Like okay, And then she gets to the piano, and we all knew. So here's the thing: the Long Live, the koi fish guitar that she sings "Long Live" with, disappeared from the museum.
Oh,
and that's how we knew she was going to announce "Speak Now" last summer.
Oh, I see.
Because then it was being added to the set list.
Gotcha.
So we all thought that she was going to, after she sings "Enchanted." We were like, she's going to sing "Long Live." They're going to bring out, and she's just going to add that one back to the set just for the final night.
Yeah.
And instead, she just walks back to, go change. And we're like,
what's happening?
What's going on? So, that was the only thing. I thought maybe she was going to add some songs back in and make it the original tour or whatever. And we were like a 4-hour show. But no, it's not. So, so all of a sudden, so she starts singing "Long Live," which, again, it was a surprise to nobody. Well, we knew that was coming. Right? And she starts singing, and she sang a good portion of it, and she said, I said, remember this moment in the back of my mind. You stood with your shaking hands, the crowds and stands went wild. You were the kings and the queens, and they read off our names. And then she sings, it was like, the lyric is, it was the end of a decade, but the start of an age.
Yeah.
She changed the lyrics to, it was the end of an era, but the start of an age.
Yeah.
And I lost it. Like, Christina's texting me, like, going, I can't believe she sang that. And I was like, oh my God, I'm such a mess. I am such a mess. And so she went on with that song. You held your head like a hero on a history book page, and I was screaming, long live. And then she, like, singing most of the first verse and part of the second. She goes, I was screaming, long live, all the magic we made. Bring on all the pretenders, because one day we will be remembered. And then she goes, there's glitter on the floor after the party.
Like,
and we're all like, oh God. Because here's the thing is, I text Christina and I go, long live in the manuscript on piano, calling it. This is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Nobody accounted for New Year's Day. I mean, some people did, but I sure as fuck didn't.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden you hear, there's glitter on the floor after the party.
I'm like, to me, I kind of feel like, yeah, that's a perfect song to talk about, like a wrap up of all of this going on.
Yeah, because like, there like legitimately is glitter on the floor,
and everyone's like leaving the party.
Yeah,
I mean, it's yeah. No, I get it.
And then she said, girls carrying their shoes down in the lobby, candle wax and Polaroids on the hardwood floors. You and me from the night before. But don't read the last page, but I stay when you're lost and I'm scared and you're turning away. I want your midnights, but I'll be cleaning up bottles with you on New Year's Day. And the years passed, and she goes into the manuscript. So she goes, and I was like, just, I knew it was coming, but it still hurt,
Yeah.
So she goes, and the years passed like scenes of a show. The professor said to write what you know. Looking backwards might be the only way to move forward. Then the actors were hitting their marks, and the slow dance was alight with the sparks, and the tears fell in synchronicity with the score. And at last, she knew what the agony had been for.
Oh.
So hold on to the spinning around, and confetti falls to the ground. May these memories break our fall.
Yeah, that's good ending. Closing
song. And yeah, that's the closing. That's from that's from Long Live.
Oh, that's from Long Live. Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
So she went back after all of it. She's like, she knew what all the agony had been for.
Yeah.
She then went back into Long Live. Right.
Okay.
Like, because all of the agony had been because the manuscript is about the Eras tour.
Oh,
it's about her whole life,
and
leading up to because it's like she that whole song she talks about, like, she dated this one guy and she got hurt, and then she started dating guys her own age and they disappointed her.
Yeah,
and then after everything, she knew what the agony had been for.
Yeah. Okay.
And now and then I go back and reread the manuscript. And like, so looking backward is the way to move forward. That's so, and then she goes, and then after that she goes back into Long Live, and she says, please don't ever become a stranger whose laugh I could recognize anywhere, and hold on to the memories, they will hold on to you, and long live the walls we crashed through, and goes right back in to Long Live. And so I kind of had like little notes, like I paraphrased it, right? So she said, and long live all the magic we made, and bring on all the pretenders, because one day we will be remembered. The only thing that's left is the manuscript. One less souvenir from my trip to your shores. Now and then I reread the manuscript, but the story isn't mine anymore. So what I got out of it was like, I picked out some things, and she said, I paraphrased a couple of I paraphrase most of this, but she said, like, I'll be cleaning up bottles with you on New Year's Day, and the years passed like scenes of a show. Looking backward might be the only way to move forward, and at last she knew what the agony had been for. May these memories break our fall. Like, that was kind of, and that's what she was saying. And then it gets me every time when she sings "Hold On to the Memories, They Will Hold On to You." Every time, like,
yeah.
So she said, "Hold on to the memories, and they will hold on to you, and long live the magic we made, because one day we will be remembered, and the only thing that's left is the manuscript. But the story isn't mine anymore."
Yeah, and it's so true, because like Eras became such a different. It wasn't her show. Like, she very much was like, this is your thing. This is how you guys are like, this is for you. Like, I want you guys to make it. And you guys did. You guys made that show for you. Like, it was Taylor Swift Eras, but that show would not have been what it was without the fan base doing exactly what they did.
Each show had its own special, like, iconic moment.
Yeah.
And each show is like remembered for something.
Yeah.
And
she made everything special for everyone.
The Vegas show was where the 4-minute standing ovation after Champagne Problems started.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, we were also the second city, and we were the third night of the tour.
Yeah, but
you
gotta start somewhere.
But we started that shit. So yeah, it's just and like, but watching her evolve, and she went through all these things, but also, like, I evolved in my own life.
Yeah.
We all have. Like,
well, it makes you take a step back and go, what is my eras? You know, what is my different time frames? And you realize how much you grow as a person. Also, I think the music helps a lot to help relate, to like help you when it's put in order.
It definitely like helped heal. And like the running joke is that my therapist quit today, but she left me with this self-help book, which is the Eras tour book.
That's funny. I will say, I'm not surprised that she mashed up the songs to say thank you instead of doing something crazy, because I think that's been her whole point this whole time. Yeah. She said, she's like, she showed her appreciation through song, which is what made her start in the first place.
Yeah.
So she was just like, thank you so much for just letting me sing my songs and communicate through music instead of just through words. And I think that's why it's like those 3 songs are so special, because she literally communicated all her thanks to you in those 3 songs.
Yeah.
And then
we were crying,
like, so
hysterically. And somebody pointed out that the first surprise song she sang was Tim McGraw, which was one of her debut songs.
Well, that makes sense.
And her last surprise song was The Manuscript,
which is her current,
which is the last song on her on the latest album that she has out. And that was like, and that ended the era. Like, that ended.
Well, I feel like maybe she wrote that song with the mindset of like, because she was kind of, I feel like she was already kind of mid-Eras tour feeling. Like, she was realizing how big the Eras tour was going to be. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't think she ever planned on the Eras tour doing as much as it did.
I don't think she was either.
I don't think anybody can prepare for something
because honestly, she also helped the dancers. Because, like, the dancers, I mean, like, the hardcore fans know all the dancers' names. Like, even Britney's dancers and Christina's dancers. Because, I mean, there was a couple of dancers from that Britney had. Yeah. That I recognized on Christina Aguilera's residency, and I was like, oh, but like, but she gave like Cam and Sarah and Natalie, and Natalie played the redhead she played Rebecca in when she was doing Last Great American Dynasty before she took it out. So like, and then Cam had speaking lines throughout the show, and then Jan got to play, like, Jan got a lot of like he got a lot of solos, and he, and so we all are like they're famous now.
Well, and I think it just because a lot of people got to see the art of the big show, not just Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? You kind of lose, like, I'm going to see Christina, I'm going to focus on Christina. I go see Britney, I focus on Britney.
Yeah.
But she made it to where it was such an intricate show for everything, and everyone
there was
so
a storyline.
Involved. Yeah.
And each era had its own storyline.
Yeah.
And then like so she gets to Tortured Poets, and Christina like loves she was like, if I ever add in another Tortured song, it's gonna be Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. And I was like, and then I was like, the way that the choreography is, and how like she makes fun of because she opens with "But Daddy, I Love Him," right? And so she's like, oh, but the Sarahs and the Hannahs and their Sunday best clutching their pearls. What a mess. Like being like judgmental. Like it's all about like the religious freaks that are like judging her, right?
Yeah.
But then who's afraid of little old me? Because you know how they're always calling her a witch. Like we jokingly call her a witch, but like the religious people are like, oh, she's the devil and she's evil. So she like who's afraid of little old me? She's on that Roomba, but by the way, somebody is under, and she's like, and the choreography, the storyline in that choreography is like, she's a witch. It's like a Salem witch trial kind of thing, and they're like coming after like an angry mob, like coming after her, and then she's like, oh yeah, if you guys think I'm a witch, I'm gonna cast a spell. And so she's like this and like casting a spell, and they're running away, and it's like, and there's a whole like storyline, and then one of the lines is, and that song is, you wouldn't last an hour in the asylum where they raised me. So then what comes next? She sings like she goes into Down Bad, right? But it's just like, it has like the whole alien thing and whatnot, but she sings like one verse, and then she goes into Tortured Poets, and here comes the asylum. She's like, yeah, the asylum where they raised me. Here's the fucking asylum, guys. Like, and like the whole, and then it's just a whole thing. And so like and Fortnite's not Christina's favorite song. Like she actually hates that song. But once I like explained it to her, she was like, oh, like okay. That's so funny. I mean, but there was just so many, and then even in Midnights, the storyline in Midnights and Mastermind, because she's like, oh, Mastermind, like that song's kind of boring. I'm like, no, it isn't. Let me explain why.
I will say Taylor Swift has been the queen of the concept album for a while.
Yeah.
And I love a good concept album.
Yeah.
I love a good concept album. So, I mean, she definitely, I mean, like, the things that she accomplished on this tour, too, I mean, freaking stunning.
The reason why we're so much in this whole, like, one of the things is, the day after the tour, like, you wake up and we're like, now what? Because so much, I hid away from everybody we got tickets for London for 13 months in advance, and I hid away from everyone. And I worked extra hours. I picked up extra days. I stayed home, didn't spend money. Nobody saw me for a year. And then it kind of made me like get more into like, like you go to my social media and there's cocktails that I've written.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make more money for that tour.
Yeah.
And usually my own personal cocktails make more money because people
they want to try them. Yeah.
People want like trust the bartender's opinion on things. Like, oh, don't drink that here. Let me make something just for you. And so doing that then sparked more of a passion in me to like want to do more as far as like the mixology world. And so I kept elevating myself, and throughout this tour kind of helped me grow into that.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're kind of forced to be quiet in the moment, in the sense of like, I'm going to London, I have this thing to reach for, I gotta work for it, you have to put the priorities, obviously.
Yeah.
And the quietness turns on the different parts of the brain. Like you didn't even realize you were muting those parts of the brain with other things. Yeah. And then you're like, oh shit, I've been muting this part of my brain for so long. Like, let's do this. Like, holy shit, so it's like,
it definitely, and then with Sarah going, her and I like have we've been best friends since we were 12, but we don't talk all the time. We go months without talking, and we'll call each other and check in, but it is now we talk every day.
Yeah.
Like it brought that whole thing brought us closer together. Crystal went through her own thing, and so Taylor kind of brought like this tour, and Taylor brought her back to life. It brought her and her husband closer together. Yeah, this tour was so, and I hate CNN, but man, they were fucking right. They were like, the Eras tour started when we needed it most, and now it's over.
I feel like it definitely, like, the boost of morale in people too, like in the sense of like when the Eras tour was just coming out, everyone was just kind of like still kind of pissed off from COVID. Didn't really know what to go on. We didn't really know what entertainment was going to go. And then she puts out this whole entire tour, which, by the way, completely changed how everyone is doing a tour now.
Oh, yeah.
Like everyone. I mean, even look at Sabrina Carpenter, how much work she puts in it. Because people are going, hey, look, if you put a lot of effort into a show, kids are going to want to come, like. So, I mean, it's so.
Well, kids shouldn't be at Sabrina Carpenter shows. But I also like her. I think Sabrina also did a thing. Because I remember when I was growing up, going to concerts and everything, their tours were like, oh, they're gonna be here on Wednesday night, or they're gonna be, and everything was just like every other day or whatnot. Taylor was like, no, my shows are on the weekends.
Yeah,
they're Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so people can go and not have to, and because it's a weekend, the kids can go if they want. Yeah, nobody has to.
Well, also, I think she recognized that her show is going to be on for a very long time, so she was like, and it gives her a vocal break, and also you do 3 days. But it's funny you say that because. Yeah, a lot more people going, hey, I get to calm down a little bit. It might be a longer show, but you know what? I'm going to give you a good show.
Yeah.
It might be a longer tour, but I'll give you a good show. You get to do what you want in it, and I get to stay in this location for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And I don't have to give myself, because look at all the celebrities that have lupus and autoimmune disease. I don't doubt that's from the lifestyle of traveling.
Right. You're constantly okay, you did the show. All right, get back on your bus.
Get back on the plane, get back on this. Don't stop moving. Don't ever be in the same time zone.
Yeah.
It's just too much. And honestly, I will much rather have a healthy artist than a sick artist on stage.
Yeah. Because then you're like, oh shit. Because then you're like, they're running themselves ragged. And you worry for them, but you're also like, what if they cancel my show?
Well, also, I think it was nice to see coming out of the Free Britney movement too, this Taylor, because I was really, really sad about seeing where pop stardom, especially with Miley too, coming out saying that she wasn't going to tour anymore because it's just awful. To see, it was kind of on the, oh, touring's really bad. This is really shitty for artists. But then it kind of is look, it can be done a proper way.
Yeah.
And it can be done in an exciting way where people prefer it. And truly, it changed how people do tours.
I think Sabrina does her tours that way too now.
I have to look at tour dates. I don't know, but I'm thinking about, because we'll get into it about the used. And I'm like, they're kind of doing the same thing too.
Yeah. So here's some crazy ass stats from the Eras tour. Okay. She gave $197 million in bonuses to everyone who worked on the tour throughout the tour. And that includes merch.
Damn.
All the people that sold merch, all those people that came into work because Taylor Swift, and I think every artist should be doing this because this helped out so fucking much. Taylor's merch truck showed up 3 days before the show.
Yeah, real talk. Even if it's just a day before the show for other people. But people being able to buy merch a couple days before the show is a really good idea.
Yeah, because at the end, I always remember growing up, going to concerts, you have to fight.
Yeah, and
you
I'm
have to fight that merch line, and you never get, and it's such a pain in the ass, and the workers are stressed out, and they're like, okay, what do you want? Do you know what you want? Oh, okay, do you know what size?
Cash only, exact cash only.
It was such but this way it's okay, there's a line, we'll get our stuff beforehand.
You're not gonna miss the show.
No, you can focus on that. You can wear your merch if you want to. It was. I think that's something that needs to be a thing. That was incredibly helpful. But the merch people got bonuses.
Yeah, that's nice.
People selling merch got bonuses. Good. So she did 149 shows over the course of 18 months.
Damn.
She went to 54 cities, 5 out of 7 continents. 10 million fans. All Too Well 10-minute version was played a total of 25 hours and 18 minutes.
Oh my God. It's longer than a day. Oh my God.
The global economic impact was $13 to $28 billion, which is the equivalent of a small country. The tour grossed $2 billion in sales. The Eras Tour movie grossed $250 million.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
I can't wait for that documentary. The book sold 814,000 copies in 2 days. That's Friday and Saturday.
Oh, and there's plenty of books.
And
I went to Target the other day, and it was filled with books. Oh, yeah. And we were freaking.
Nobody was worried about the books. Not a single person was worried about the books.
Okay.
No.
Why were we?
Nobody was worried.
It was the
vinyls.
Oh, okay.
Because
they had those too, though. Tortured Poets vinyls.
Are you finding them?
I thought so. By my Target.
They had
both.
The anthology?
I don't know.
Because that's all. The anthology vinyl has 35 songs on it. The whole thing
is that the one up there?
Yeah. No. Yes. That's that one right there.
Oh no, it was a thinner one.
Oh yeah,
it was a thinner one.
Yeah, because they were like, because the Target I went to only had like 8 left.
Okay,
and that's why. And they were like, once they're gone, they're gone, and once they're gone from the website, they're gone. Like Now watch, there's 80 of them at my Target, and I was right. No, the book no, because people were calling around the Targets, and Target was basically all the Target employees were like, no, we have pallets of books. We're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, there was
it was all vinyl. The vinyl was the biggest thing that everyone was really worried about. So nobody's worried about the books. So that they want. There's a certain amount of money that they're trying to. I think they're trying to make like $80 million or something. And yeah, they're fine. And that book was $40.
I wonder how much she actually.
That vinyl was $60.
I'd like to see the paycheck she actually got from this after tax. I want to know how much.
I would like to know how much she makes from all that stuff too. Yeah. And then she released 3. This bitch
busy
released 3 albums during the tour. She released "Speak Now" Taylor's version.
Mm-hmm.
Had Presley Cash and Joey King show up on stage because they were in her music video for "Mean" back when they were little.
Okay.
Taylor Lautner, because Back to December is about him.
Yeah.
And then she released a music video for "I Can See You," and all 3 of them were in it.
Oh, cute.
And then so Taylor Lautner showed up on stage and started doing backflips.
That sounds like it does.
Like,
he can never get over Lava Boy.
Shark Boy. He literally looked like Shark Boy or Lava Boy or whatever the fuck. Like, he looked like his character. Like, at the Eras tour, like, he straight up was just.
God, imagine you have to do that for the rest of your life.
And then she released 1989 Taylor's version. There wasn't a music video for that. But it was awesome.
Yeah.
And she did it. It was one of those nights. It was one of those nights where I was like, I don't know how my neighbors didn't call the police, because I was watching the live stream, and every time she showed up in a blue dress, I'm just screaming, "It's blue!"
That's so funny.
But it was super memorable. And then another point when she had Ice Spice. Because they did a Karma remix.
Yeah.
And she has all the dancers, and the dancers make cameos in the video, right?
Oh, okay.
So what she did was, she debuted that music video on stage, which she did with "I Can See You" too. She did that too with "I Can See You."
Yeah.
And she sat there with her dancers and watched it with. Like, it was like movie night with the whole crowd.
That's cute.
And so that was a really sweet moment. And then what I think is so funny is we were all watching the Grammys last year. And we were all sitting here. I was sitting here. We're all texting. Everyone's texting each other. And she wins Album of the Year. And the last time she won Album of the Year, we got Midnights.
Okay.
So we were like, okay. She's wearing white and like with black gloves.
Oh yeah, everyone thought it was Reputation.
And she was wearing a clock. But yeah, so we were like, this bitch is gonna announce Reputation.
Yeah.
And so we're all like, and then the videos like, were so funny. I even have everybody's like videoing themselves like watching her give that speech. I have one too, and we're all like everyone's in their rep gear. Like, I'm wearing black. Like, we're ready. And when she announced Tortured Poets, and we were like confused but also excited, and we're like, what's happening? And then she takes a long break. It was like a 3-month break between her last US show and Europe. And when she showed up in Paris, she added Tortured Poets to the set list, and you're like, how is this bitch gonna like? Does she sleep?
No.
And
that's why she's tired.
That's like, she spent the entire tour, and she'd been working on it for 2 years. So she actually started it when Midnights went into print. She started writing Tortured Poets.
I'm actually not surprised. She had a lot happen right after Midnights.
Yeah.
She had a lot happen in her life.
A lot happened.
So I am not surprised, including the Matt Healy of it all. And he just tends to
inspire our artists. He's doing some shit now.
Yeah, no, he's doing a lot of stuff now. Listen, Matt Healy's yelling at people, but nothing's new. He must have a golden cock or something. I don't get it.
I don't know. But so the Eras tour will be it'll live on in our hearts and through tribute shows, and like I said, I told Christina Shaw that I was like super excited to go to her show because it's my last opportunity to say goodbye to the Eras tour.
Well, and speaking of that, let's promote Christina's show.
So Christina Shaw has the Eras of Taylor, December 29th at the Space. Tickets start at like $25, and they go to like $40.
Not bad.
I listen. She sent me before she announced like ticket sales. She sent me the link so I could get tickets first.
Ah, that's sweet.
Well, she knew I wanted to be in the front row.
Exactly.
I wasn't gonna miss that shit.
Like, I know.
And then you can also like do like a $10 add-on to get your picture taken with her on the stage.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm hoping she just lets me do that.
She probably will.
She probably will. And then I think at one point she's gonna give away the 22 hat.
Oh, that'll be cute.
Yeah, and she was gonna put it as an option on the site, but I'm like, no, because then how do you pick? So I'm like, I hope it's me.
Well, if there's a child there, let's hope
if
it's the child.
It's gonna go to a child. But I still hope it's me. Crystal's like, how do I get Andrew the hat? I'm like,
actually, that would be fucking hilarious.
If it is,
Probably deserves it.
Right?
He's gone to Argentina, get a bullshit ticket, spent $10,000 on front row seats. He deserves it.
Andrew deserves that hat.
Hoarding all the women together in London. He really deserves it.
Dude, I'm telling you, he was because I will never forget this moment. We were in the hotel room when we're all like getting ready to leave, and Andrew like just puts on like a random T-shirt or whatever, and Crystal's like, "What are you doing? I bought you a shirt.
Why did you even pack that?"
And he's like, "I don't want to wear that," and Crystal's like, "No, you're gonna wear that." And we were all, and me and Sarah were like, "Come on, Andrew, just put it on. It's awesome. We love you. Put it on." And he's like, "God damn it, fine." And he was so pissed off about it. But then once we got to that promenade, like going up to the Wembley, like everyone was like, "Oh my God, can I take my picture with you?" And suddenly Andrew was like, "I'm king of the castle, guys."
So funny. He just had to have his moment.
So
that's so funny. But yeah, no, I mean, the Eras tour was a great tour. I mean, it's so successful. Like, honestly. And I think how Taylor ended it, like, it felt very ominous, like, we're coming back, bitch. You know what I mean?
This bitch put in the book, "See you next era," because we were all worried that she was going to be gone for a while. And I'm sure she will be, but she's probably going to be working on albums.
I would be surprised if it's only a year. Like, I bet it's only a year.
Excuse me, we're already planning our 2026 trip. I was like, no.
I wouldn't be surprised if
I'm pretty sure our U.S. date is going to be in 2026, and our European date will be 2027.
Yeah.
So I'm actually I still have money in my savings left over from London. Yeah, I actually have money left over from London, believe it or not. I know. Yes, I was very good. Because I was like, I want to do this again. So I have a head start. And so, yeah, Crystal and I are already like, 2026 and 2027 are going to be a thing.
Be it. Yeah. But, well, speaking of tours, I always said at the beginning of this tour, I was like, Jessica, I love this idea. I was an emo kid. This is what emo kids love. Like, I mean, Coheed and Cambria, My Chemical Romance, all the fucking used even. Panic at the Disco is really into it, too. I mean,
love Panic at the Disco. They're getting back together.
It's just Brandon.
Oh.
Listen, Evanescence is only Amy Lee now, so I can't really talk about shit. But it's only Brandon. But, so... Pierce the Veil decided that they were going to come out of hiatus. They've been in hiatus since 2018, and they announced a big world tour. And so they're like, everyone's like freaking out.
Is everyone like jumping on that My Chemical Romance bandwagon and just
yeah.
Like, let's do a reunion?
I think what happened was, so when We Were Young Festival required the band to perform the whole album of whatever they were promoting. So like My Chemical Romance was the Black Parade. So they played the Black Parade from front to end at When We Were Young on top of other songs. Every band did that.
Who was part of it?
All American Rejects.
All American Rejects.
And they they wanted to do something else, and they were like, no, and then they got mad, and then they did their own show. But at the same time, it was like, I think what happened, I don't know, because When We Were Young didn't do that for the first couple years, and this was like kind of the first year they forced the bands to do that. And so But honestly, it was just I mean, I don't know enough about it. To me, it seemed like a hissy fit, but whatever. It worked out for both of them, honestly. So Pierce the Veil came out, and they have a big tour, and that's really exciting. And then the Used announced a tour that they're going to be out in 2025, but in each day they're going to do three nights in each at each venue or each city. Yeah. And one night is going to be one album, their first album. The second, night 2 is going to be their second album. Night 3 is going to be their third album. And they're going to play them from front to back. So you can go to 3 shows and get all your albums, or they said pick one. And personally, I want to go to the one in LA. That's in May. My sister-in-law loves the Used. I was like, hell yeah, let's go to the Used. I've met the whole band of the Used and stuff, and that was a lot of fun. I've been to the show before. They're a great show. They're not like, they would be doing like House of Blues type venues, and I am okay with that. I love that. I'll set the bar and enjoy my hat. Like I'll just dance.
House of Blues is great. Who cares?
I love all that. So yeah, it's just gonna be really interesting, like how that tour is gonna play out. But I do think it's funny that all these people announced these tours, but I'm kind of glad that they waited till after the Eras tour was done.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was not...
Good luck with that.
Exactly. They didn't want to compete with it, but they liked the idea of doing something fun for their fans.
Yeah.
So it's bringing out a lot of, like, fun for fans, but also allowing the bands to stay in one spot for 3 days.
But also that formula of 3 days in one spot and then go to the... Yeah. So it's not just one... Yeah,
and it's working out because people are stoked. People are so excited.
And then you're like, and then the artists are well rested because then they have 4 days off.
Exactly. And listen, all of those emo bands, they're old, they're tired.
Yep,
they want to go sleeps.
Yeah,
they want to go memes. But yeah, so I'm really excited for that tour. Sad news in the emo world. Shortly after we recorded our Black Parade section, Bob Breyer, the drummer of My Chemical Romance, he was on the second, he toured the second album, and then the only album he recorded was The Black Parade. But he passed away at 44. They had last seen him on November 4th and didn't find his body until November 24th. And he had 2 hungry dogs.
So, nobody checked on him, or nobody thought, dude, if you didn't hear from me for 20 days, if you don't hear from me for like a couple of days, something's probably wrong.
But okay, let's go. You've even said, oh, you haven't heard from Sarah. Well, recently now, but before you wouldn't hear from Sarah for how many days? But you wouldn't be worried. Yeah, but
no, because I would see her on Facebook. Because there was a point in time when I first moved to Vegas that
but if
I was off Facebook. I was off Facebook for like 4 days. Well, I'm somebody who's on Facebook every day. Well,
that's what I mean. That would be that's a hard example. If you're not into social media and you already are a recluse, like he absolutely was, 20 days is fucking nothing. You know, I mean, this guy literally lived in the middle of Tennessee, in acres on acres land,
like a Miley Cyrus kind of deal.
Yeah, like he's secluded. This isn't a person that posted on social media. The last time he posted on social media, and also like it was like a year ago. Yeah, you know, I mean, this wasn't somebody who's active. You're very active. That's you know what I'm saying. Like, if I don't post on social media for 20 days on my personal page, no one questions a thing.
If I don't post, then someone's like, where's Jessica?
Exactly. So it's like, it's not really that, it's all about that. Younger fans were actually really rough to him. And at first I didn't know how to like process it. I was like, oh my God, these people hate him. Oh my God, this is so weird. Why do they hate him so much? And I found out the main reason why was there's some confusion with these young fans about what happened. My Chemical Romance, Bob was not the original drummer. And that guy was stealing from the band. He recorded 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, and in the middle of the beginning of touring, right before they even filmed the music video for I'm Not Okay, Bob joined the band. So Bob's in the I'm Not Okay music video, but he had never played with them as the new drummer of My Chemical Romance live at that point. He had played with them for like to fill in, but not officially. So then so that happened. The Black Parade happened. Now after the Black Parade, Mikey Way, the bass player, decided he enjoyed some heroin. He lacked heroin. And he divorced his wife. He found this 18-year-old with a 2-year-old and got her into heroin. And then they were engaged. And then Mikey left her and got sober and had a family of his own. And unfortunately, this poor girl is still very much addicted to drugs. Her son's 10 years old now.
Sad stories.
And it's hard to realize that your hero, one of your heroes, did that. And Bob made sure to publicly shame Mikey for that a lot. Like, I mean, made jokes out of it. Like, I mean, really, really. So a lot of the younger fans only see this really aggressive person and not a nice person either. But it's really hard to look back at that and see, like, well, I see where Bob's coming from. The behavior wasn't right, but I see what Bob's saying, you know. And then, so the cause of death is unknown. I really hope it was not intentional. I think the timing of it being after the long live announcement is really harsh because, like, he sold off his drum set, he sold off his uniform because they all had their uniforms, and he donated all that money to an animal sanctuary, but he was never going to be asked to join the Black Parade, the long live, and I just really hope he didn't do anything to himself because he was very much a person that you had to keep an eye on. He also Frank, the guitarist of My Chemical Romance, wrote this really beautiful message, kind of giving the fans an insight to, like, the situation, like, with Bob and stuff. And he just really shared, I guess Bob sent his dog off to training to somebody in California, and they accidentally killed his dog. I don't know if it was accidental or not, but the dog ended up passing away. And Bob, I guess, like, lost his mind ever since then. And was just really, and that's why he was short, and that's why he started not getting along, and he had a lot of mental health. But I do want to say, Bob, thank you for the venom. Thank you for the music. Thank you for being one of the 5 guys on stage that were as fucked up as I was. But yes, thank you. Thank you for everything. You made my little heart explode so many times. You were such a kind person to all your fans, and a lot of your fans have come out and said that. And just know that you have love with us older fans, and that we're not, we're not angry at you. We get it. But rest in peace, Bob. Damn. Well, in better news, though.
Oh, man. Now we get into, like, the nitty-gritty of it.
Brianna Chicken Fry and GraceO'Malley.
Can I say that, like, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain?
Well, if you're not a bitch. No, I'm joking. Well, maybe not.
And, like, that, like, everything that just happened is, to me, giving off that energy, because all of a sudden, because we were like, Zach Bryan and fuck that guy, and, like, he's the smallest man that ever lived, and this and this and this, and we were 100% on her side, and all these things. And she was even at, like, the final night of the Eras tour, and, like, wore an Evermore style dress, and got to wear Dave Portnoy's jacket that got. So Dave Portnoy had a jacket that got like the whole Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants kind of deal. Like, if you wore the jacket, then you had to hand it off to the next person, and that jacket traveled the world. Okay. And then Dave got to wear it in Miami, and then Brianna got it for the final night in Vancouver. So, and we were all like, oh, this is her, like, hero story. We're just so proud of her, and she became a Swiftie because of this and this, and we were so happy. And then this happened, and so we're like, so I'm sitting here going, we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
So if you guys didn't know, Brianna Chicken Fry and her childhood best friend GraceO'Malley have a podcast together called Plan Brie, and so I will say there was a lot of tension going on this podcast recently, and at one point, Grace was going somewhere where she had previously been sexually assaulted, and at 16, and Brianna kind of goes on this tangent, like, don't be a bad kid like us, don't hang out with older men. Not like, oh my god, this girl was a child and was absolutely taken advantage of grown adult men, but, like, it just really put the blame on her, and it was just very awkward. I sent you the video. It just was icky, and at the same time, I don't think she was trying to make her friend feel bad, but, like, I don't know. First of all, the friend wasn't looking for a, hey, let's bring up my sexual assault either. Like, Brianna brought it up.
Like,
Brianna kind of put her in a position to bring up the sexual assault on camera for, like, how many listeners do they have?
Oh, yeah, I
mean, hundreds of thousands. Like, it was just a little, it's on Barstool. Like, it's just a little much.
Yeah.
So that was, like, kind of a red flag moment. I'm not going to lie, but, I even told Jessica off camera, I was like, you know what? It kind of makes sense. She was going through this breakup with, or Zach Bryan did not like Grace because Zach Bryan didn't like any of Brianna's friends and was very adamant about not hanging out. And Grace was probably like, this guy's a fucking douchebag, leave him. And then she's upset that her friend's upset. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole entire cycle. So I was like, I mean, they're just off. It's just weird. They're off. Okay. So then Grace and Brianna decided that the show was gonna get canceled. So the show got canceled and was put on a hiatus. And Grace had been waiting to make the announcement so she can make a joint announcement with Brianna. Does that sound familiar about what Brianna wanted?
This again. We were all rooting for you. Live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
And then Brianna comes out in an IG story saying that, hey, we're no longer doing this, and I'm looking for a new co-host/co-hosts. Like, I'm looking for, like, with Grace, we're done with Grace, and I'm gonna reinvent this, and it's gonna be something else. And Grace comes out and says, oh my God, like, writes a three-page Instagram story, and is just pretty much like, I am completely blindsided. And her IG, which also frustrates me because Brianna clearly doesn't know how to comprehend anything. In Grace's IG, she goes, I knew the show was canceled, but I didn't know she was going to try to bring it back with new people. It's hard that my childhood friend just fires me. Right? Like, that was the vibe of it. And she's like, I'm blindsided. I have been waiting months to tell you guys, but I was hoping we could do it in a joint form. I've been waiting so we can all do it on the same day instead of just being blindsided this way. So then Brianna's like, well, she's known the whole time it's canceled. Bitch, that's not what she said.
No,
she said. And then she
wanted to be part of the announcement.
Yes.
Like, that's it.
Well, and this is what gets me. So let me get this right. Brianna, you were crying on Al Gore's internet. Okay? Fucking sobbing, going, this guy broke up with me. So you knew he broke up with you. Just like Grace knew you broke up with her. And then he announced it earlier and didn't tell me he was going to, and we promised it was a week. Just like Grace was waiting to do it on her terms and your terms together, but instead you blindsided her randomly. And then, what else was it too? I was just like, oh yeah, so I didn't want her just to announce it because I wanted to make sure I had support from my friends and family. Probably what Grace would have wanted too. So everything you were fucking bitching and moaning about on Dave Portnoy and making a villain out of Zach, you fucking did to your childhood best friend. Bitch, you dirty. Sorry.
It makes me kind of think about who she was before that.
Honestly, well, she cheats on her boyfriends a lot.
That's what I heard too, and I was like,
okay, she's young.
Wait.
I was like,
did we something wrong? But also, Zach Bryan
was an asshole. See, that's the problem.
Zach Bryan sent his wife divorce papers while she was fighting for our country.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of shit going on. Listen, two birds flock together. You know what I mean? So that's that. I just, it's just like, Brianna, like, what the fuck? Like, how can you, like, I don't know. Grace is still on Barstool. Grace apparently has a project coming out. I just think it's kind of funny. It's like, how, and then, like, even in the TikTok comments that I was reading, it was all like, I didn't even think of it that way. You didn't see this scenario of Brianna doing exactly what Zach did. How did you not see that? It was pretty fucking self-explanatory. But I guess Grace has some, like, comedy gigs and stuff like that. So I think a lot of people are rooting for her. A lot of people are want to see her next project. I think she'll be okay.
Yeah.
If anything, I wonder if they even, like, stirred up this controversy a little bit, because Brianna's like, people will forgive me. Let's
maybe
make me a little bit of a villain, but let's promote your shit, because they're still working on the same team. Because I don't know if you know this, Dave Portnoy is leaving the BFF podcast starting at the beginning of the year.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he announced that on the Brianna Chicken Fry.
So what's he doing? I mean, he owns Barstool.
He's fine. He's retired. I don't know what he's gonna do. I think he's gonna show up, but I think he's gonna do more like behind the scenes type stuff to build it more.
I mean, he's
also like,
he's really good in like the sports world, because I know that there was one game where he lost like $100,000, but he also but also I think won $1 million in the Super Bowl.
I mean, listen,
so he's fine. Like, everything's fine.
Yeah,
he's
Barstool's
like,
so popular.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And like, so his thing was, He thought it was weird. Well, a lot of his thing was he felt like it was too like talking shit about his friends now, and also he's like, I'm at a certain age because I think he's closer to 50. He's like, how's a 50-year-old supposed to how's a 50-year-old supposed to like talk shit about celebrities or like 18 or 16-year-old girls that are like actresses and stuff. Like he's like, I can't do it. That is creepy. It's creepy. So I mean, I follow. But speaking of fucking creeps,
it'd be cool to see him on more like college game days.
I think that's probably what
you know what I mean, like college game days, and like make it, be like a guest correspondent on like Monday Night Football or something, like stuff like that.
I think he'll turn it more into that and probably do. I wouldn't be surprised if Barstool really expands what they're doing too on like platforms and like I think it's just going to be a bigger thing. And listen, good for him. But we'll see.
Barstool, like I feel like Barstool is kind of how it started. Was like the way that I found out about Barstool was through like Barstool Sports and LSU, because I
found out through celebrity stuff.
No, I found out about it. Like the way that I learned about Barstool was like, honestly, it was always through football.
That's funny.
Through LSU, through college football.
I learned about it because they were always on TikTok.
That's where sick memes came from. Like all the college football memes that started out like on Barstool. Now they have like there's other like, but that's how I learned about Barstool. So I think that could be more, definitely he's more into sports.
Yeah, and that's all right.
Especially since he's really good at sports betting.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. But speaking of a creep, what's his name? Barry Keegan? Keegan, there's his name. Fucking Barry Keegan. Don't embarrass me, motherfucker.
Oh my God, that man fumbled so hard.
I just want to say I called it though. I remember it was one of our summer sessions. We were outside and I was like, I think it's really fucking funny that she's like, don't embarrass me, motherfucker. And he just left his wife and baby at home. Like, girl, he's going to.
Yeah.
I called that shit. And then I also thought it funny that one chick.
Let's not put our boyfriends in our music videos, guys.
Right? But it's really funny that one chick was like, I thought he just adored her. I was like, you were cheated on too. Like, you would think their relationship was good. Because, like, what the fuck? No, he never looked at her like that. He was barely at the fucking Sweet and Short door.
Dude, yeah, no, oh my God.
There.
Like,
and that's
Travis Kelce
I
feel like Travis Kelce kind of set that bar, because after like Joe Alwyn and all of that, like, and he's barely showed up, then Travis Kelce's there all the time, and then but then we like loved seeing Barry and Sabrina together at Coachella, and that was like really cute and adorable.
Like 3 shows that people are freaking out about,
but like,
and I always thought he was a creep because he was sitting there dancing like this.
Listen, I watched Saltburn.
It's fucking weird. How did he improvise fucking a grave on Saltburn? How are you going to improvise fucking a grave on Saltburn and then me think you're normal?
That's not the scene that I couldn't.
There's a couple of them. The bathtub one?
It wasn't the bathtub one. It wasn't the bathtub one. There was a sex scene.
Which one? I'm like, oh man, I haven't seen it. So I'm like, I've heard all the naughty parts, like the bathtub. That's what.
Did you hear about the one where he like? Can I say it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll bleep it out if I need to.
He was like eating a girl out or going down on her when she was on her period.
Oh, and yeah,
there's just blood everywhere.
That grosses you out. That's funny. And there's blood everywhere. That's funny.
That grossed me the fuck out. I was like, I'm out. Like, I literally, because I kept hearing that movie was really good, and I was like, all right, I'll watch it. And I was like, this is disgusting. But after that, the thing is like after that scene, I can't. I stopped watching that movie, and then I see Sabrina with him, and I'm like,
motherfucker,
you're with that guy, like.
That's who you choose?
I can't like I do you know? I mean, no. I mean, I like no. It
That's
just
so
to me
funny.
like he from that moment gave me the ick.
I honestly like,
and I know it's just a movie. I know it's just a role.
No,
but everything he had to do.
The grave. The fact that was all improvised. No one told him to do that. He got into character. I don't know. It's just like. I don't know. I'm just not surprised by the breakup. I will say, like, so apparently there was a blind item that came out about Barry. So I need my notes. There was a blind item that came out about Barry that said he was out on the last night of the Sweet and Short tour of Sabrina's tour. He was out with some LA.
It wasn't her last night. It was her last night of her American tour.
Oh, her American tour. So it was he was out with a blonde LA based TikToker who was in London recently. And so the internet went freaking crazy after the breakup was announced. So
and she kept reposting their breakup announcement TikToks.
There was a couple of them. There was two people that were guests. So the first one that people guessed was Alexis Adams, and she denied it. And the only reason why people thought it was her was because she went to London recently.
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, I only have like 200,000 followers. I'm really not as big of a TikToker as this person is. Like, there's no way it's me."
Yeah.
And then Brecky Hill comes out, and she starts reposting everything. I don't either. I've never heard of her. And it also matches the blind item like crazy because she also started posting all the things she was eating with berries because she was on like this berry kick, right? Well, Becky comes out and she goes, "Guys, I broke my back." Girl broke her back skiing. She's been in the hospital the whole time.
Brecky has?
Yes. And she was bored in bed and just reposting everything because she was on Sabrina's side. And she was just high on drugs in bed and really happy about having berries. That's it. The bitch broke her back and she's like showing us in her fucking harness. Like, "No, I really broke my back. Like, this fucking hurts." She's like, "That's why I haven't been on social media, because I broke my back." Which,
so she has an alibi.
She has a legit alibi.
I'm high eating berries and everyone thinks.
But you know what? I don't believe she didn't do it on purpose.
No.
Because you know what? Bitches broke her back and she can't do TikTok. She can't do a lot of things. How do you make money and how do you generate people to come to your page?
Yeah, because we don't know who she is, but now we're going to her page.
Exactly. Yeah. And now we're talking about her. So you know what? I bet she made a lot of fucking money on all of this, enough money to make her through her broken back bills.
Okay, and so then what happened? So then what really happened with Sabrina and Barry? We just don't know.
We just think he cheated, which I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
He seems like the type.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Sabrina, if you need more girlfriends to tell you who not to date, I think we can help.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Well, I can't. I'm not good at it either.
Listen, it's all right. I'm here. I don't know. I'm just like, that's okay, Sabrina. You go.
I love her. You know what?
I do too.
You know what's so funny to me is like when I was growing up, like, because I grew up a Britney Spears fan. I'm still a Britney Spears fan.
Yeah.
But I remember when Britney Spears was 18 years old and she was like, dressing up. Like, listen, when I was growing up, I had the body that Britney had because I was like, I'm gonna have that body. And did I wear stuff to show it off?
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, I did. I mean, it wasn't to that extent because I was a little bit more conservative about it. But
honestly, people were freaking out over Britney
and people were freaking out. It
was the time.
It was the time. But like, and when she did the "I'm a Slave for You" performance and had the snake and like the "I'm a Slave for You" video and like even the Womanizer video, but I remember like parents like throwing a huge fit because Britney started on Disney and she has all these child fans and this and that and all these like just like how
Britney's transition makes sense to me though, because Britney was like, I'm this young girl, I'm 16, 18, young. Sabrina Carpenter's like 24, 22 when she started really popping off in the adult world.
But it's
so there's a long enough
parents, break. Yes, but the parents are like
dumb.
Are just, and I'm like, I think I've seen this film before.
Well, like, my thing is parents are just not paying attention to what Sabrina Carpenter's actually singing. Because if you have a song saying "I'm so fucking horny" and then you're surprised that Sabrina Carpenter is singing "I'm so fucking horny" on stage, then there's something wrong with you, not Sabrina.
No,
like
Sabrina is an adult. She is a cute little Polly Pocket,
yes,
and
not once has she tried to market
very Marilyn Monroe-esque,
yes.
And she's just grown into like this strong, like the way that people are just like, how does like Sabrina Carpenter has a very sexual show, but it's still for the girls.
Well, I think a lot of it is because they expect her to be a Taylor.
She is not.
And she's not. She's her own person. She learned a lot from Taylor, but Taylor is not as sexual like that.
Taylor,
and I think that's,
so she opened for Taylor, and every night when she opened for Taylor in the South American run, and she closed the show every night. She closed her set every single night with nonsense, and she had a very sexualized outro, right? And all those videos went viral. Like, we were all like, I was like living for these nonsense. I didn't even know that song until like,
oh really?
I didn't know any of Sabrina's music. Like none of it. And now I'm like, now I pay attention. But those nonsense intros, that shit's what got me.
That's so funny.
But also, I mean, because she was also on tour. She had her own tour, and she was here in Vegas, and I'm so pissed we didn't go.
I know, because we were like, we only like 3 songs.
Yeah, we should.
I only like 3 songs. And then I listened to the album 2 more times.
We fucking should have fucking gone, because those tickets were not what they are now.
No.
And then we could have been like, oh, we saw Sabrina Carpenter, but
even though I'd rather see the Short and Sweet tour than the other one, I do like the new album more.
Yes, but we could have afforded to go to that show. You know,
it's okay.
But the point is like, there is no way with those sexualized nonsense outros that she, especially in Australia or whatever, where she was down under and like, come on now. But like, there is no way that you didn't see that.
Well, no, there is a way, because parents don't pay attention to their kids. That's the reality of the situation.
But
parents don't know
was
what
all over the internet. It was on the news. Like,
but if it's not in your niche, it's not. It doesn't.
I know,
but don't care about kids. I mean, parents will literally be like, go in your room and not even know what they're talking about.
Right, but to me, that was like hint number 1.
Well, hint number 1. I just think it's weird. It's like, you're gonna buy
her entire outfit, her whole tour, like,
tickets aren't cheap. Okay, like,
they're not cheap. But
they're not cheap.
She's also like in lingerie the whole fucking show.
Well, the whole entire stage, not stage, but the whole entire setup for the album, all the photos and everything, is her in 70s lingerie.
Yeah,
like, the whole thing has been lingerie from day one. But it's just because people don't pay attention, and they hear the song on the radio and they think it's cute, and it's a radio edit.
Yeah.
So it doesn't say I'm so fucking horny, or don't embarrass me, motherfucker. It says don't embarrass me like the others.
Yeah.
And then they bring their kid and they're shocked, and it's like, I mean, my friend Maria was like, yeah, my friend went, and she's like, I thought it was really gross that all the preteens were singing. I'm so, have you ever tried this one?
Oh, when she does her Juno pose?
Yeah. Like, it's just funny that it's like, she's like, that was weird. But you know what? I mean, I'm not surprised she's a teeny bop hit, but also at the same time, like, come on, parents. I don't know. I feel like I grew up in Vegas, so I probably have a bad example of it.
Well, so when Diane Sawyer came at Britney, and nobody has forgiven her for that, by the way.
No.
When she came at Britney about Justin, but she also came at Britney and said, what do you say to the parents who say that you're not a good role model? And she goes, it's not my job to parent their kids.
It's not.
If you don't like what I'm wearing, change the channel, turn the TV off.
I remember Britney got so much shit for that, but it's such the truth.
But
it's like, no one's forcing you to watch this shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
what the fuck? Well, and it's just, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't. And every time I see a parent complain about it, they're always on Sabrina's side now. Like, I mean, everyone's on Sabrina's side. They're like, then don't take your kid to a sexualized show. I don't know what you want.
Yeah, no, it's, whereas back then,
it was, the parents were always right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's not holding her back. If anything, it's giving her great publicity. So
I'm just proud of her.
Me too.
Way.
I mean, like, she's doing a good job. She'll be good.
Her stage was I was like, that's so phallic. Like, I was like looking at, like, because it would go down like and with a heart, but the heart would be, and I'm like, that's a penis.
Looks a penis. It sure is a penis. The girl says she's so fucking horny.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just, oh man,
it's cute.
Whatever. The best part so far, I really enjoyed when she was in LA and Christina Aguilera showed up and they sang "Ain't No Other Man."
Oh yeah,
that was cool.
I realize I have this thing with Christina where I just roll my eyes every time I see her. I'm like, oh, now you're trying to work on your image. You've been a bitch in this industry for how long, and now you got to work it out.
She's back to looking the way that she did.
Ooh, that Ozempic was. She also got the thigh. She got her BBL dissolved to something.
Yeah, it's
because whatever that was.
She looks like she's 19 again, and I actually I'm good with it because I miss those days. because it was just. I mean,
See,
she
I don't know. I go back and forth just because of like beauty standards and what we do to
yeah,
ourselves.
but it was kind of it was
and all
just.
that.
But
I like to see women
her
age,
costuming
but she
and
looks
everything.
great.
But her
She looks
costuming
great.
and everything was super. Like when she was, because I saw her show for free because
Yeah.
at Planet Hollywood, and I took Christina Balanek with me, and I mean, but like her costume, I was like, she wasn't doing as much. You know, as far as choreography, whereas now she's like back to like doing Christina
also,
Aguilera things.
When did she have that last baby? I don't know how old that last baby is now, because didn't she have a baby around that time? I don't know. It's hard to say because like
I don't know.
It takes a minute, but also the Ozempic. I listen. Whoever's doing Lindsay Lohan, Christina Aguilera, Demi Moore's
their plastic surgery. Oh. Lindsay Lohan had the best glow up in Hollywood.
Oh my god!
Holy shit!
The facelift totally saved her career. I know that sounds weird, but it totally.
She is. And you know what? Great. Like I am so, man, I'm so excited for Lindsay Lohan. I just watched the movie, her Christmas movie for this year. It was really good, and like she's the old Lindsay. And
well, I don't know if we ever really knew who the old Lindsay was because she was a child and then she was a partier. And then, you know what I mean? So this is like, not the old Lindsay. This is calm. This is like the real Lindsay we wanted.
This is the real adult Lindsay that we were all waiting for. And
she looks like she's on time now.
Oh yeah, because of Georgia Rule. Like oh man, she got so much shit for that movie because she was never on time.
Oprah, she was late to Oprah's thing.
Oh yeah.
So how are you going to be late for Oprah?
But now we don't hear shit about Lindsay, which is great.
Well, she had a baby, and listen, I don't doubt that she calmed down a lot. She probably she had this show where she had a nightclub in Mykonos, and I will say I saw a lot of the transformation on that show because I really enjoyed that show. It was fun to watch her. Like, I mean, she wasn't really being a boss. Someone else was being a boss, and then she just kind of filled in for, you know, aesthetic, to be at the nightclub. But honestly, even she was sober then, she wasn't drinking, she wasn't doing anything. And then that nightclub closed, and from that nightclub closing, I feel like she found her partner, she found her husband, or I don't even know if she's married, but like found that person, had a baby. And like that glow up was just what she needed.
Freaky Friday 2 is in the works. So it's going to be awesome.
Speaking of Freaky Fridays, Jay-Z's finally been accused.
Well,
we've been waiting.
Well, Diddy's trial, I think, is starting to, like, there was something going on with Diddy too. Like, so it's a federal case, so it's not going to be televised, but pieces of it are being leaked illegally.
I don't know if he's at trial yet. I don't think he's at trial yet.
But there's something with it.
Well, I know that, because there's so many. Okay, well, there's so much. But, okay, so Jay-Z has been the guy that's kind of been found out in this. So Jane Doe came out and accused 2 males, one being Diddy, and a female of raping her when she was 13 years old. And this was in the year 2000. It was the same night that J-Lo won big at the VMAs and was wearing that green sexy dress. So this is also why people think the female is J-Lo, because there was 2 males and 1 female described in this. The lost, like I said, two females. 2 males and 1 female drugged and raped the girl in front of a crowd of people, and the crowd of people did not do. No one tried to stop them. She wanted to go. The story is that she wanted to go to the MTV Awards, and she was asking limo drivers outside of the venue to see if she could get a ticket inside. One of the limo drivers was Diddy's driver, and he said she looked for the fit that his client was looking for. So 13-year-old girl, I guess he was like, "Oh, Diddy wants you."
That makes sense.
Yeah. So the limo driver goes, "Hey, come back. I gotta go do something. Meet me here at this time after the show, and I'll take you to the after party." And so the driver picks her up, drives her about 20 minutes away to a house, and goes to a Diddy party. Now she shows up. She's immediately told to sign an NDA. This is where I'm kind of getting weird. Why are we having 13-year-olds sign NDAs? That's not even a legal document. 13-year-olds can't sign legal documents.
No, because you have representative. With a parent or guardian.
So, like, I don't even know why. I mean, did they not know she was 13? I mean, I don't know. That sounds like a really horrible excuse, but what the fuck do I know?
Yeah,
I just think that's
13-year-olds look like. Well, I mean, 13-year-olds back then looked
in
13.
2000 looked like they were 13. So everyone was forced to drink things. I mean, the same story we've heard multiple times. Take things, everything. I guess there was cocaine everywhere. There was marijuana everywhere. I'm not surprised about that, honestly. I mean, I assumed a Diddy party had a minimum of cocaine and marijuana, personally, and a lot of alcohol. So then she started to feel really woozy and she couldn't hold herself up, so she found a bedroom to lay down in. This is where supposedly, allegedly, Jay-Z and Diddy come into the room with supposedly, allegedly, J-Lo. The woman in this case has not been identified, but Jay-Z outed himself, so that's why we can say Jay-Z was apparently one of these guys. Jay-Z and Diddy came into the room. They started raping her, and it wasn't until Diddy they ripped off her clothes and then sexually assaulted her, and then it wasn't until Diddy turned her around to try to force oral sex that she punched him in the face and was able to get out of the situation. Which even that, I'm not trying to say it doesn't make any sense, but did Diddy get his ego burst? Because that doesn't seem like something Diddy would just give up on. Because he chased Cassie down a hallway.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to victim blame, but these stories to me
they don't add up because you think Diddy can. She punched a 13-year-old punches Diddy. You don't think Diddy's gonna grab her punch? It wouldn't have surprised me if he killed her or something.
Well, not even go that far, but let's just say
he's so violent. He's a fucking gangster.
Yeah, there's two guys raping somebody and then a bunch of people watching and not stopping, and then she punches in the face and he just goes, "You're right, I should stop." I don't know. I'm just saying it doesn't sound very Diddy. I'm not saying it didn't happen. Maybe she remembers. That's only she remembers. Maybe she blacked out after that. There's so many things because she's 13 and on drugs. We have no idea how hard these drugs affected her or alcohol because she's so young. So I'm not saying the story didn't happen. Maybe there's some black spots in the story.
Maybe it wasn't Jay-Z and maybe it was someone else.
Yeah, I hate
to say that because I hate Jay-Z with a strong burning passion.
Well, and so Diddy's team came out and called it a publicity stunt and denies that Diddy ever did anything like that. Literally said, no, this is just for publicity. And then, so another thing I want to kind of go back. The lawyer that was the main guy was the lawyer that is helping everybody. His name is Busby. And Busby is also doing this lawsuit. Jay-Z has come out and has denied everything and says Busby sent him blackmail, saying that you're just trying to blackmail me because Busby sent Jay-Z, the lawsuit, pretty much saying we're going to settle or we're going to make this public. Really forcefully, settle now or we're going to make it public. And Jay-Z said, fucking make it public.
Yeah.
You're not going to embarrass me. He said he wouldn't settle because JC wouldn't settle because he wasn't scared. He's willing to go to trial for this. Then he looked up Busby's credibility, which has been kind of weird. He is known to be an ambulance chaser. I'm not going to lie. But he called him an ambulance chaser. And then also kind of was all you're just going after a black man who finally succeeded in this world, kind of went after that angle. He also he mentioned, I know, right? I was like, okay, Jay-Z, isn't that the same thing with Diddy then too? But but that's okay. He said he's disgusted that he has to
no, dude, it was gross when Jay-Z basically went that direction when Taylor won Grammy album of the year and Beyonce didn't, and it was very much Kanye doing his thing and Jay-Z had a whole big speech about it and it was the same kind of shit and I was like,
yeah, no, it will be always. Jay-Z also mentioned the impact to his children, especially having age-appropriate children, because Blue and her friends know exactly what's going on.
Yeah,
and at the same time, Jay-Z, you absolutely were a pig at one point in your life. Also, do you remember dating your wife at 17? Because I sure do.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
when she was in Destiny's Child.
Anyways, what the fuck do I know? But yeah, Busby. But
that's none of our business.
Exactly. Then Busby comes out and says another thing that JC said was, "Don't make me what other celebrities are, kind of implying like, don't make me the bad guy like you've made P. Diddy the bad guy. And I was like, wow, way to throw your friend under the bus real fucking quick. But then Busby came out and said the victim was never asking for money, and that Jay-Z's Jay-Z is trying to silence the victim, and it speaks more for Jay-Z than the victim, and that the victim and Busby want to go to court with this. Jay-Z immediately filed an extortion lawsuit against Busby, along with and then also Spiral, who represents Jay-Z and Rock Nation, also sent Busby an extortion lawsuit. So it was pretty like, I mean, maybe they're going after him.
He didn't.
I mean, they're going after him. It could also be listen. Hey, let's do the opposite of Diddy.
Got you.
Yeah,
that's fine. I have nothing. If you have nothing to, like, if you have something to hide, you're gonna try and cover it up and make it go away.
But I can also see how being the big boy on campus could be. I don't know. I mean, honestly, we've been waiting for Jay-Z to be connected in some way, some form.
We really have.
And so
there's a few people that we're waiting for. And I'm waiting for that list, man. I'm waiting for Epstein's list.
What I would like to know too is what's going to happen.
We know
with
Leo's
Roc
on.
Nation.
You know what's weird is I know that we all know Leo is on that list.
Oh, he's on both lists. Anyways, Roc Nation. Roc Nation does the Super Bowl. Is the NFL going to tolerate this? Is Jessica going to get her wish?
Oh, Taylor will never do the Super Bowl. Taylor will never do the Super Bowl. She doesn't need to. Well,
I feel like Super Bowl is just something you do, just say you did it, you know?
Yeah,
like
but
the Grand Ole Opry or Madison Square Garden.
Here's the thing: is like ever since they took over the halftime show, it's been nothing but rappers.
Yeah, and Bruno Mars.
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar's a great rapper, though. I'm not gonna lie; he's like a phenomenal rapper. I will say that's not what my dad wants to see. My dad, I mean, listen, my dad doesn't want to see any of it, but my dad would rather see a Bruno Mars or a Taylor Swift.
But it's more fun when they mix genres.
Yeah, I will say, I think
like when best. My favorite halftime show that has ever been done was NSYNC. Britney Spears, but then you had Run DMC and Aerosmith.
Well,
so you had 4 genres. You had you had 3 genres of music.
Yeah,
all coming together to sing each other's songs. Yeah, and like that shit was cool.
And like even when Bruno Mars, Coldplay, and Beyonce came out, I was like, I like that collaboration too. You guys did it. I will say it's never been as good since Bruno Mars. I feel like Bruno Mars was the last performer that did the halftime show that I've been like, holy shit, that guy blew it out of the fucking water.
I even like
Lady Gaga's was good too.
Lady Gaga's was cool, but like even Shakira's and Jennifer Lopez, you didn't like that?
That was fucking awful.
Oh, I thought that was awesome because the dancing was like so like.
Oh, the whole thing was awful. It was just listen, Shakira. No, it was
Shakira. No,
it was J-Lo.
See, but but.
No, like when I say impressed every generation, Bruno Mars every time. But that's because he's so like.
But Kendrick Lamar, like the only like I don't.
I mean, he's
that big?
Hell yeah, he's that big.
I mean, I know
did a huge diss track on Drake and absolutely obliterated him, called him a pedophile and everything.
That was Kendrick and Drake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But Kendrick Lamar is huge.
I thought that was someone else and Drake.
Nope.
Well, I know that Kendrick has he is on one of Taylor's songs. You forgive, you forget, but you never let it go.
No, but Kendrick Lamar is like lyrically, he's like one of those like true like rappers.
He put on a halftime show. Like I don't want to.
Is that what is he performing this year? Is that who's performing this year?
Yeah.
Yes, he'll be able to blow it out of the water. Now you're gonna have to like rap a little bit, and you're gonna have to appreciate rapping and what it is right now compared to what he's doing. But yeah,
my point is with Jay-Z being in charge, like Jay-Z sits here and he makes it about race and how like the white man's keeping him down. Like, Taylor Swift his white girl beat out his black wife, whatever. But you know what I mean? Like it was just that's what it was like. His like speech was kind of like giving. And I'm like, but so now like the halftime show is like all R&B, all like your genre.
Well, that's what happens,
and it's very one side. And it's like, no, dude, like we want the rock stars in there too. Like we want like rock and roll, we want the country artists,
we want everybody. I think the only way to do halftime show is to make it like a 4-person thing. Like have a couple people come in,
and you don't get paid to do those halftime shows either.
Well, that's probably why I can't get anyone to do anything too.
Because
I mean, Taylor doesn't want to do that for free.
No. But
Miley doesn't want to do that for free.
Nope.
Lady Gaga won't do it for free anymore.
No. You have to, like, no, that shit comes out of the
Sabrina Carpenter probably won't do it for free.
No.
I think Halsey would do it, but I don't think Halsey would be a good choice for it. I'm trying to think who else would be like a top
cool though
end.
if Britney Spears, like if Britney Spears was Britney Spears again.
Well, yeah.
With Halsey.
I know.
Maybe.
No, Halsey's more alternative. Like way more alternative on stage and stuff too.
I don't know. I just like the idea of several genres on one stage coming together. You know, like that's so I just don't like
an Olivia Rodrigo with a who would it be? Actually, like it would be like Olivia, a Paramore with like a Chaperone and a Sabrina would probably that would be a
something
good mix.
That would be
all
sick.
Three of those.
That's
that would be good. That would be
we want like, but we need that variety because
or like Kelsey. I always call her ballerina.
Kelsey Ballerini. Yes.
Yeah, her with who is she? Like a Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
And like a cool third like a Jelly Roll. Oh, that'd be a fun one too.
Yeah.
Like throw in some random shit. Yeah, listen, Jay-Z, if you ever
and
need
like
help,
the Eagles or some shit. Like what?
Yeah, right?
You know what I mean? Like random fucking shit. But like it's just been the same. Like every halftime show that's announced, I'm always like, you know that meme of like Robert Downey Jr. where he's like,
yeah,
I just roll my eyes every single time now. I'm like, of course, when he had like 50 Cent and Eminem and Snoop Dogg, and I was like,
see, that was pretty cool though. Yeah,
I mean, it was
Dr.
cool,
Dre
but I was
and
still
all
like,
your people together. That's pretty. See, that's where it's like, okay, and then we had the Rihanna. It's like, okay. I mean, I feel bad for the Weeknd because he had the COVID set and he was really what he could do.
But his was good though. His was cool too though.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
Oh, God damn, you know, you're just like it's all R&B artists. Like,
yeah, it's like
let's do something else. And so
I follow that.
So I was like, Kendrick Lamar, really?
Yeah, I mean,
we've
honestly,
had 4 years of
he'll do better than Travis Scott, and I thought Travis Scott did a pretty decent job. I thought he did a decent. I mean, once again, you have to appreciate what it is. And if you're looking at the hip hop world, I can appreciate the hip hop world.
Yeah, but it's just constant. Like bring in like, dude, even if Kendrick Lamar, like throw in Coldplay.
At this point, I feel
the Eagles. Like they're back on tour. Fucking do that.
Throw in Nickelback. That would be hilarious.
Throw in Nickelback.
Trust me, they need the job.
That would be awesome. I would watch that shit.
Job.
I saw Nickelback once. Oh my god, it was so much fun. But like,
yeah. Well, the problem is they're not paying.
Yeah.
So your options are very limited.
Their excuse is like, oh well, you get the exposure. Cool. But again, I mean,
that's not where you're getting your exposure, but that's all right.
That's fine.
That worked with Britney Spears when the internet didn't exist. You know what I mean? Like that existed then,
there's
but
plenty
like
of exposure now. We're fine.
You can put out a YouTube video and get more views than the Super Bowl could give you.
Yeah.
And without the hassle.
Yeah.
So
we're off on that tangent.
Well, anyways, guys, that was our episode. Holy shit.
Wow.
Oh my god. My voice is dead. All right, guys.
I do want to say one more thing.
Yes.
And I meant to say this earlier, but I wanted to, because you thanked Bob and I was like, oh fuck, I forgot. I just want to really thank Taylor Swift for the last 10 years of my life.
Yeah.
Every time she released an album, I started looking for cameras. I thought for sure that bitch was following me around or stealing my diary or something because funny. She has become like the soundtrack. She's a soundtrack to our lives. Like, just thank you. Like, she's everything. She's like kind of healed like that inner child. Like, like I always say, like Britney Spears raised me, and Taylor is guiding me through my adulthood. And so thank you for all the hard work that you've done for us over the last 2 years. Thank you for giving us letting us realize our own eras, like you said. And just in changing, I would have never left this country had it like gone out like on vacation had it not been for you. So thank you so much, Taylor Swift, for changing my life, for changing all of our lives, for bringing me closer together to my friends. And just thank you for everything you did, and we will see you on the next era.
Oh, thanks. Well, in that, please like, subscribe, make a comment. Nice ones. We only like nice comments. But yeah, that's our episode. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.